CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 27 of the Great Ace Attorney Adventures. Last time, we wrapped up the trial for this episode. We managed to prove that McGilded was innocent, though granted it was very suspicious. He was accused of forging evidence, though we couldn't prove it. Too bad Phoenix wasn't around. Otherwise, Phoenix would have used his time-traveling Mason system to basically bust McGilded using the jury. The jury's already there. Phoenix could have just brought in the time travel system. Phoenix could do it too. He just time travels. He's the Hobo Terminator. Anyways, you probably noticed some differences in my audio. The reason for that is that while configuring my new computer, for OBS, I actually did some modifications on this one that I'm currently using for my Elgato recordings, and hopefully this has actually improved the audio quality. Basically where it's less intense at certain points and quiet at others. Basically just keeping it more consistent so that way I'm not constantly messing around with the volume all the time. Hopefully this actually works. Anyways, if I feel the need for it to change, I'll change it like how I always do. Heck, I changed it before I did this recording. Yes, it was.
Your first ever trial on foreign soil and your first victory. It was a wonderful performance. My heartfelt congratulations. You aren't completely useless, Ryuunosuke. You don't have to jump to the Thames.
And to you, Miss Susato. Thank you for all your assistance. I suppose we should be happy. The trouble is, we're still completely in the dark about what actually happened.
Well, we didn't have enough time.
But isn't it wrong? I mean, who was actually responsible for Mr. Mason's death? We don't even know that.
The sole aim of the defense is to obtain a verdict that exonerates the defendant. You carried out your duty to perfection.
That you did. Mr. McGilded. That girl's with him too. That is right, she is part of my posse. She is one of my street toughs. She'll go and she will pick the pockets of people I order to pick the pockets of, and she will hit their knees in with a crowbar, and she will sing a musical number with a bunch of rough street tough urchin orphans. That's all I decree. She will be this generation's Oliver Twist. I will make sure that her name is seen in neon lights. But first off, Ryuunosuke, take off your shirt. Well, it seems the stories are true. Oh, what stories? About the 6 enormous fireworks they do be letting off her when there's a verdict of not guilty. I'm sure you must have seen them now. Spectacular, wouldn't you say? Yes, definitely. I have heard it was a sight to behold, and to be sure it was. And I've got you to thank, I suppose, for having the opportunity to see it. Oh, I didn't know about that. I'm not sure I really did anything. What on earth are ye saying, fella? How did I walk out of here a free man then? I don't think it was so much thanks to me as down to your planning. Yes. Sorry, my throat's been giving out lately. I don't know why. You're a strange talking fella, aren't ye? I must say, ye had me astray in the head there once or twice. And CzarThwomp forgot to put the time on. But the young and headstrong. Wahahaha! 'Tis water under the bridge.
Congratulations, Mr. McGilded, on having your name cleared.
But nothing's resolved. There's only one thing that matters to me. Oh? They've all seen that I didn't do that, or odious and absent indeed. 'Tis grand, is it not? I suppose it is. Now the first fine fellows at Scotland Yard can take matters into their hands and sort out any wee details. All to my expectations. I pay a hefty bill to make sure that they do their job the way I see fit. I am helping the community out. They'll see to it for what it is, they'll get to the truth. I absolute faith in them, so I have, after all. I do be providing a good number of the wages with all the taxes I pay. He is the anti-Yoshi. He pays his taxes. That's why he wears purple. He and Yoshi are the greatest of enemies. Whoa! It's not that funny. So then, As we agreed at forehand, earn 1,000 guineas for your troubles, fella. Oh, no, I couldn't possibly accept that much. Oh, ya be west, your humble people ye, you from the east. Well, if ye insist. But have this, till and all, ye deserve a reward. Mr. Magnus McGilded. I don't even know what voice I gave to the bailiff. Everything is ready, sir. If you'd like to follow me into the courtroom. Into the courtroom? What's this, officer? 'Tis sooner than I was led to believe. I hope it's all convenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule. Well, I must be making tracks now. 'Tis time for the inspection. Sorry, what inspection? They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself.
They're going to examine it again? Now?
Naturally, I'm under no obligation to take part in any more of this matter now. But as an upstanding member of London society, I do be doing my best to help wherever I can. 'Tis a gentleman's duty, so it is, as well as solving puzzles. So then, fare thee well. 'Twas an absolute pleasure meeting yous. Nothing bad ever happens to Magnus McGilded. I hope ye have a whale of a time while you're staying here in Great Britain. And there he goes, a free man.
Oh, I forgot she was here too.
Yes, because Ryuunosuke just can't walk away while she takes the time to load that thing. Don't move. Whereas I want to say, get a move on. She really does take forever to load that thing. Miss Lestrade, would you mind putting that thing down?
You're a grown-up.
Sorry?
And I ate all grown-ups. Ah, there you are. Naughty, running off like that.
Is this some kind of picnic? Who is this little girl now? Who is this sassy lost child?
And taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher.
Ha!
Mine's bigger. Oh, you want to play? You won't beat me.
Care?
That's right, just try it. I have nothing to lose. Elmsy tries to suffocate me with the opium. He just keeps buying more and more, and it's slowly taking over the apartment. In fact, what do you think that ammo's made out of? I had to freaking recycle the opium so that we're not consumed by it.
Excuse me, but who are you?
Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine.
The inventor?
Well, normal smoke grenades are so dull, don't you agree? Well, white, and more white. If you had to be shown smoke, it could at least be a pretty color, I thought to myself.
Do we have to be shrouded in smoke, though? At all?
Yes, how else am I supposed to get Holmesy away from the debt collectors? Oh, I just took my eyes off it for a moment while I was changing to a different omnibus, and she pitched it. Luckily, I fit in with a telegraphic beacon.
What's it now? I have no idea what this girl is talking about.
Anyways, you're coming with me now. Back to my laboratory. You're going to be trapped in the opium with me. Damn it, if I have to suffer with Holmes and his opium episodes, then so do you.
What for?
To apologize, of course, silly, to my technician.
What you mean, say sorry?
You must say sorry when you've done wrong. Surely an adult has told you that before.
An adult? I don't listen to no adults.
Then will you listen to Mr. Bazooka? Come along then. Follow me.
Fine, have it your way.
Oh, good. You see, I knew you'd want to do the right thing in the end.
I'm fairly sure what she wants is to not get shot by that massive gun of yours.
Same difference. Well, we'll be leaving now then. Bye-bye. I'm so sorry for all the fuss.
She was a lively one.
Well, do you think
Sorry, I was in still the Miyu voice.
Well, do you think that perhaps we ought to be on our way now too?
Yes, you're right. But where to?
Oh,
We haven't had time to find a place to stay. No sooner had we arrived in London than we had to rush here. All of our traveling cases are still with the bailiff.
I was originally planning to spend today in search of lodgings.
But at this late hour in the day, I'm afraid we may be out of luck.
Don't worry though, I have a plan. We'll sleep here. I claim the couch. If the worst comes to worst, I've heard of a lovely park where we could spend the night.
Yes, in the McGilded Park. That is right, my lovely friend from the East. For saving my life, you can sleep in my park. Please tell me you're not thinking of McGilded Park.
I know it may be a little chilly at this time of year, but our youthfulness will see us through.
I'm not so sure about that. I think a midwinter London will freeze a young person solid just as easily as an elderly one.
Oh dear, that doesn't sound agreeable.
Now I'm starting to regret turning Mr. McGilded down. That 1,000 guineas would have paid for a lovely warm room or a mansion. And so, the trial to determine my worthiness for the study tour was over by the end of our first day in London. However, as we were soon to learn, there were more trying times ahead, just as the Reaper of the Bailey had warned. The case was far from over.
What's going on? Get the fire brigade! Water! Bring water, quick! What the? How did this happen?
I don't know, sir. By the time I got here, it was already engulfed.
No one was supposed to be allowed in here before we started investigating.
Oh no! Something bad happened to Magnus McGilded!
No. Oh, good God.
I have to die doing what I loved! Seeing boys dance with their shirts off! Hurry, why you take your shirt off and start dancing!
This can't be.
I will now unleash the ultimate power of my edge. And then Barack just... You see the brightness cast by these flames? It does nothing to illuminate the darkness of my soul. And the darkness of the end screen. No, we are not saving the game. Anyways, episode 4, The Adventure of the Clouded Kokoro. Yes, we'll start the episode. The Adventure of the Clouded Kokoro.
I begin to think, Wilson, said Sholmes, turning his head languidly in my direction, that there is more to this case than that which we have observed. Indeed, that there may be another part to this story that we are yet to discover. His eyes wandered, following the steam rising from his cup of herbal tea, leading him to the distant memory of that snowy evening. To the young lady collapsed on the pavement along Briar Road, and to the knife in her back. Lit in the soft glow of gas lamps, a most extraordinary scene had been set. And under the cover of a light fog, the curtain had risen silently on the insoluble mystery of our invisible killer.
"19th of February, 9:47 a.m. British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office."
Did you sleep last night, Mr. Naruto?
No, not at all.
It was an enormous hotel, wasn't it? The rooms are so luxurious. I felt like we were staying in a palace. And with all the gaslight twinkling, it was brighter than day, even in the middle of the night.
What about the enormous beds? After my time on the SS Borgia, I wasn't gonna waste a single inch of that space. Yeah, just Ryuunosuke rolling back and forth on his bed. I spent the entire night rolling from one side to the mattress one side to, the mattress to the other.
Oh yes, it really was the sort of night you can only dream of normally. Except, when I learned that we owed 3 pounds to the rooms, that dream quickly turned into a nightmare.
Oops, sorry about that. The building was so impressive, and the entrance so inviting, I just wandered in without thinking.
In a lodging house in Japan, that's how money would put a roof over your head for a whole year. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't help my tears when we were presented with the bill.
And so this curse haunts Phoenix to this day, just 100 years later, and Phoenix is dealing with this exact same pain, except with Maya and her burger habit. And then basically one day Maya's just scoffing burgers. Phoenix sees his massive bill, sees this massive debt he's accrued that can only be calculated through advanced mathematics that haven't even been invented yet. And just Phoenix is crying. And then meanwhile Susato, she's just looking over from the spirit world. She's looking at the bill and she just has this face. She has tears welling in her eyes. And then Maya, she has her mouth full of burger.
Nick, why is the creepy ghost woman crying? She's staring at the receipt and crying with you, Nick.
I really am sorry.
Well, never mind. We must find some more affordable lodging straight away, though. If we're not careful, our entire stipend will be used up in 10 days or less.
London is a scary place. Good morning to you at this early hour. Oh, yes,
Good morning to you, Lord Chief Justice. We have come to report on the outcome of this trial at the Old Bailey yesterday.
Susato sounds amazing. She doesn't bat an eyelid, even in the presence of the opposing Lord Strongheart. Yes, I believe you had a very comprehensive initiation into the British courtroom practices. And damn it, CzarThwomp, get some glasses, get an eye test, get something so you can actually read the screen properly. At least move closer so that way you aren't seeing doubles of the text. Oh yes, it was very eye-opening. Thank you.
And in accordance with your instructions, Lord Strongheart, Mr. Naruto performed his duty to the end.
Yes, I've already been appraised of the events. You conducted a remarkable defense. You may consider the test passed. Oh, no longer are you a student from the Empire of Japan. You may henceforth claim to be a fully fledged lawyer. So saith my birds. My country is delighted to welcome young talent from such a remote eastern land. Thank you very much. So, I'm a lawyer now. Now, in view of your next appointment, I have a fresh case in mind for you. I'd like you to take it on at once. I trust that it won't be a problem. Another case already? Nothing trains a lawyer better than practical experience. I'm sure. I don't sense dissatisfaction, do I? It's just that yesterday's trial ended unusually. I haven't quite come to terms with it. What's to come to terms with? The man was cleared. What's more were you hoping for? The culpability of the defense has not, at the present time, been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to prefer judgment. Well, Lord Van Zieks, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fella, I couldn't have asked for a better defense. Nothing bad ever happens to Magnus McGilded! Wah-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha! I just can't help but wonder if Mr. McGilded really was innocent.
Mr. Naruto!
It's just that I never managed to ascertain the truth. And then the trial ended. Well, you needn't let it trouble you for a second longer. Sorry?
What do you mean, Lord Strongheart?
Magnus McGilded passed away immediately following the trial.
No!
What? Mr. McGilded is dead? I have 19 minutes and 41 seconds until my next engagement. 40 seconds, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33. Time enough to talk. 31. Present! Lord Strongheart, may I show you this? To accept this item, issue a receipt, examine it thoroughly, and make a formal statement of my findings would require something in the region of 24 seconds of my time. Sorry? Does that item warrant 24 seconds of my time, Mr. Naruto? Let's leave it for now. Let's do some examining. Okay, gears. Just look at all the naughty books packed together on these shelves. They go from floor to ceiling.
And they're all books that you can hope to come by in Japan. It's like a dream!
Yes, a very bad dream.
They're not all about British law either. There are books about the judicial system of other Western nations. France, Germany, Spain, Holland.
Yes, and the Germany one.
Oh, and here in the Germany one, it says that in the courtroom, if a prosecutor by the name of Von Karma is there, he can yell at the judge and declare the verdict himself.
What about Russia? Oh yeah, we already read that. We already read this. Why are they giving us this? Yeah, I just realized that this is all the exact same. If they say about the stone, I know I'm just gonna stop. Okay, yeah, we already read this. Yeah, we already read this. So why are they acting like we never even touched this text before? Is it because we just never did the this case? Okay, let's just get going. No! I don't want to look at the books. I don't care about Susado's views on the books. Yeah, basically Phoenix inherited his inability to read law books from his ancestor. Whenever Phoenix doesn't read Mia's law books, Ryuunosuke, he gives the big thumbs up. He's like, yes! Go, Phoenix! Go, go, go! McGilded's death. I don't understand. What happened? How can he be dead? After the trial concluded yesterday, there was a great commotion in the Old Bailey. As you'll presumably recall, an omnibus had been wheeled in the courtroom. Yes, of course, that was the scene of the crime, which Mr. McGilded had been accused of. Precisely. Well, while the bailiff's attention was diverted by some other matter, the omnibus went up in flames. No!
How could such a thing have happened?
That is being investigated as we speak, but already. The police have identified a corpse found inside the charred shell of the carriage as that of Mr. McGilded. That's awful! The man must have slipped inside whilst the bailiff's attention was diverted elsewhere. That bailiff really needs to pay more attention.
And how could that have happened? Cut his pay!
And then basically, the reason Edgeworth is so prone to cutting Gumshoe's pay is because Susado whispers in his ear,
Edgeworth, are you gonna let Gumshoe get away with that? Cut his pay! But
Ghost Lady, Gumshoe is starving!
I don't care! He messed up the job, so now he dies for it!
Susado is a merciless spirit. That is also being investigated as we speak.
Thinking back now, immediately after the trial, Mr. McGilded did mention going back into the courtroom to look at the omnibus.
Well, I must be making tracks now. 'Tis time for the inspection. Sorry, what inspection? They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself. An inspection of the omnibus? Not in my knowledge. I don't believe Scotland Yard had any intention of re-examining the carriage. But then who is Mr. McGilded talking about? Never mind that now. The Yard is making a thorough investigation. The matter is no longer a concern of yours. Leave it to the police.
Poor Mr. McGilded.
British Court. So, how did you find your first taste of our country's Supreme Court? Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, it was wow.
Mr. Naruto means the whole experience was steeped into the solemnity of Great Britain's long history. It's really a world apart from our own judicial system in Japan, which is only a few short decades old.
Wow, Susado-san has such a way with words.
And you seem to have a way of failing to find the right ones.
I love just that look of pity that Susato constantly has. It's like,
Oh, Naruto, you poor baby. Really, I should pat your head. I feel so sorry for you.
the judicial system here is the most advanced in the world. Learn all you can. The most advanced in the world, is it? It was fortunate that your very first trial was a simple affair.
Simple? That was simple?
As I believe I mentioned yesterday morning, it was a trial you couldn't lose.
I don't mean to be contrary, Lord Strongheart, but the case was anything but simple.
The circumstances of the case are so incriminating. I was stunned when I first heard them. In fact, I'm still finding it hard to believe that we managed to get a favorable verdict. Is something funny? No, my apologies. However, the fact is that you did receive the not guilty verdict you set out to achieve. And that can only be attributed to exceptional talent. Wouldn't you agree? Well, I don't know about that. Well, never mind. You exceeded my expectations, I freely admit. That much at least is an undeniable truth. To be frank, I didn't even think you'd be able to find the courthouse. Which is precisely why I prepared the new case for you that I mentioned before. What's going on? What was he going to say before? New case.
Could you perhaps give us some more details about the new case you mentioned?
Don't tell me. It's a murder. And the trial starts in 10 minutes. No, dear boy. It starts in 8. Don't worry, it's nothing so alarming or quite so urgent as your last assignment. In fact, this case is completely different. Oh, I see. Did he just read my mind? That is to say, no one has died, as of yet. And the trial will not be today. There is plenty of time to research the case thoroughly. 23 hours, 43 minutes, and 19 seconds to be precise. So the trial's tomorrow then. Well, that delay has just cost you about 10 seconds worth of time. You proud of yourself?
Is everything alright?
Oh yes, I'm just a little confused, that's all. Yesterday's trial was, well, it left me wondering if I'm really cut out for being a lawyer.
Oh, Mr. Naruto.
I don't know if I could face standing in that courtroom again after Mr. McGilded's trial. Ah yes, I nearly forgot. There is one similarity with yesterday's case. Once again, there is currently no one to advocate for the defense. Oh. If the situation remains unchanged, the trial will start tomorrow with the defendant unrepresented. And if that happens, well, I need not remind you of the inevitable outcome.
The most terrible end awaits the defendant.
Yes, that's right. Here we go again. Your time is up. You will have to excuse me. I would advise you to begin making preparation for tomorrow's trial. After all, the clock is ever ticking. I should know. I work in a big clock. There is now but 23 hours, 26 minutes, and 39 seconds until the court sits. Last time he mentioned the 23 hours, he said there was plenty of time. Time is relative. And one more thing, Mr. Naruto. There is something I should like to ask you. Oh, what's that? Yesterday, you remarked upon something. That you intend to see through the will of your late compatriot, Mr. Asogi. I would be interested to hear what exactly you mean by that. Inside 34 seconds. Oh, well, Kazuma always used to say, you see, that he wanted to learn how the greatest justice system in the world works, so he could change ours in Japan. Now that he's gone, I'd like to work towards that myself. And there's another thing.
Oh?
Another thing? Continue. On the way here, on the steamship, he said something to me. There's something very important that I have to do. Something very important? And what exactly would that be? He never had a chance to tell me. I suppose he would have done if he'd made it here to Great Britain. You're out of time! Well, thank you for an enlightening discussion.
Mr. Naruto, what's this all about? Mr. Asogi never once mentioned anything of the sort to me.
I urge you both to focus your attention on the matters at hand. I've taken the liberty of summoning the police inspector in charge of the case. He'll be able to apprise you of the details. How long has he been there? So, I wish you the best of luck, and bid you farewell.
There's something very important that I have to do. Kazuma-sama, what did you mean?
He meant ending the episode, because now would be a great time to do so. Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer, and I'll be going for the next one. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. Well, I'll see you next time. Bye.